something related to the shading box or shadow box is if we can put a vector here, which it can be XYZ first, and we can pull out a gene pool, and then let's edit this with, let's say, maximum 0, minimum -2, and 2 decimals is fine. We have 4 corners, we can put it in if we just randomize this. So if you connect this here, if I connect this here, you see what I'm seeing? So I am changing my corners based on what I have supplied here. And it's basically when I put it onto 0, it gets its own value. Or even if I make this like maybe maximum can be 1, and you see they're all gone. So you can come up with something as such if you want to, once you're dealing with the shading box. So this can be our panel for now, and when I shift to a shader, goes to shader, louver to louver, and so on and so forth. So as I said at the beginning, let's draw kind of a curve that we can use as our building face. So I draw this. Say this is going to be our building, and let's extrude this curve. Extrude curve as, I don't know, like 75 meters. And this is going to be our face to be covered by this panel for now. And of course we can change any of these, and maybe like we can change the height of this like with, I don't know, 5 meters. Maybe that would be helpful. And maybe this can be 2, but obviously then we should be putting this into 1. Oops, and 1. All right. So the next thing that I wanted to do is basically go to skin generator, SkinDesigner skin generator. And what this does, basically, it gets activate button, as we know, which is a toggle, and it needs to be activated. Skin parameters. Skin parameters is the parameters in which we are going to create. So for this case, we can delete this parameter 3 and value 3, value 1, value 2, and parameter 2 can stay. Let's ask for a skin name. Let's say skin underscore ph, my initials, default pay list, and parameter 1 and the value 1. So the parameter 1, if you go to your SkinDesigner skin parameters list, so we connect this parameter to here, and there are a bunch of things, okay, we can see. Let's say default vertical shift. We'll also check what we see here as well. So the value 1 is like the specific, like a value to assign specified parameter. We can use a toggle here to make this box. Default bay list, list of panel IDs connected to SkinDesigner to use in the facade solution. If not provided, default is going to be, so we don't need to be worried about this. This is our skin parameters, and the next thing it's asking is my skin list. I can pull out a BWrap and put this BWrap in, and this is going to be my skin list, and it's asking for panel 1, so for panel. So this is going to be, if I grab data, maybe can I put this as a data? I think yes, I can. So I can connect this to another data, and then this data can be to my panel 1. And what I'm seeing here is the basic setup of what we are going to do now. So let's activate this and see what is happening. So when you double click on this, you'll see that this guy here is writing something on top of each other. And the reason for that is it's basically creating, as you see here, skin EH, P0, P wall, P cladding, P glass, P mullions, and shading, and so on and so forth. And the reason that we are seeing this now, SkinDesigner creates our singular panel here. However, when we have this skin as a facade system, we have this kind of a guy or kind of a panels over here. And if I come over here, the glass can be again like maybe blue. And when I change it to blue, it turns into blue. And what I'm seeing here is some of them is shifted or moved along. Maybe I can preview this off. You see, and I can turn my extrusion off as well. And now what I'm seeing is I see all these beautiful panels are defined here for my facade system. And you see the corners that are off, they are being filled out with the panels. And anything that I create here or anything that I change here on this panel will going to affect this one. For instance, now I am having my panel width is 100 and I am putting my from left is like almost the a bit shifted. So if I double click and 0.5 to this, please pay attention to this panels, and this panels. You see, once this shifted, it starts overriding again, and it's going to override this all over the place here. And if I put this to 2.5 meters, it is going to be up. It's going to go up so that we won't be seeing anything here. Therefore, what we can do is we can put a 1 meter here, and then we'll see that all the panels that are being adjusted automatically. Obviously, once we change something related with the window width, like let's say 1.3, you see it goes all over the place. And if I take out this guy, it's going to be putting everything into the center. All over the place, right? Right, so that's pretty much what we are going to do in the very first assignment or very first test of how we can generate the skins. But the problem is when I push this in, okay, but it goes yellowish. I don't like this, so maybe it's related with the thickness or something. The other important aspect here is this is now a block, okay? So what this means, so if I double click to this, and then if I say, I want to change this solid, I want to change the point of this thing here, I move this, and then I want to push this forward. Since they're all defined as blocks, and I say, maybe I take this point, maybe I take this point and push it down a bit, and I say, okay, you see, every shader that I created has changed to something like this, even though my original is the same. And obviously, if I Control Z, everything works well. If I take this and convert it into shadow box, it will take a second, but now I started to see a shadow box that is created for all my panels, and whenever I change it, it's going to be changed. So when I change it to louver, let's say, not window louver, all over the place, it starts to override since we changed something going in our panel, but we are not feeding that, or we are not feeding that. So now we'll be seeing all our louvers here, and I can change it to a shader, then we'll see them as shaders. So it did like this easy, you can come up with a panel or panel building as such. So in the next video, what we are going to do, how we can take a couple of panels and put those inside of this equation.